This is Eric Muathe with Muathe.com. Let's take a look at one of the 2020 leaders that is recently seeing a gigantic collapse in price, and the stock is GSX. We can see that in 2020 it had a big run, and so essentially what has happened here in 2021, it's gone from 45 to 150 back to 30. And a couple of days ago, it was down in a single day, down almost 30%. So we can say recently, this has not been a fun ride for anybody who's been playing this stock. So let's take a look at what happened before this week's massive plunge, or at least a plunge over the last couple of days. If we take a look at the weekly chart, something jumps up, in my opinion, right off the bat. So we take this weekly closing high, and we can see that in 2021, the stock was doing its best to break out. Here, it did trade during the month above the prior weekly closing high, but closed right there. So essentially, that's a failed breakout on that month. Tried again to break out here. It was rejected. So we can see that even at the highs, something was not right with this instrument, and it was showing failure to break out. So that in itself is a red flag. As I always say, failed breakouts are notorious for taking instruments lower. Something else we can see, we go back to September. This is RSI 69.1, uniform activity rejection. And that in itself is good visual indication that something is not right. This instrument was running out of juice at that moment at the highs there. Again, RSI 69.1, late 2020. Now, there's also another RSI signal from the uniformity concept, my own researched method. Links are going to be in the description. Take this break, and of course you can see that that break in itself led to a substantial drop. This was massive right there. So take that break and draw a uniformity line, a search, and we can see the market was telling anybody who was watching that the RSI was being rejected where it had previously broke down, and you can see that hence this recent reversal low follows that RSI resistance. Now, of course, to be honest, you can write a book about this chart, but this is just a quick video to see what it looked like, some of the major signals before the recent plunge. By the way, last year, 2021, we were playing this stock when it was breaking out. So this phase was very attractive, of course. And because it was an IPO from 2019, there was not enough data on the monthly, so we were using the weekly chart. And you can see that the breakout, let's try and see whether we can highlight that area. So this breakout sometime in June, July period, that breakout coincides with your RSI and MACDs confirming strength. So let's take a look at that period. So we're talking about that period there. Take a look at your RSI. RSI jumped above 69.1 on the weekly. And if we test the MACDs, we can see that at least one of the MACDs was moving to minimum 3-year highs. In fact, we can say both MACDs did push to 3-year highs, all-time highs in this case. And of course, it did great in 2020 because it met the minimum requirements of the ultimate Muathe breakout. And that breakout that we're talking about now, we can see it very, very fruitful in terms of momentum to the upside. All right. Now, if we take a look at the monthly, something I've been talking about recently about some of the leaders that I'm noticing is take a look at this monthly chart, and we can see the opposite of the ultimate Muathe breakout recently. You see this monthly closing low from December 2020. We did slash through it cracking below it. There. Take a look at your RSI. It also jumped to 3-year lows. Not good. And we can see the MACD on the monthly moving to 3-year lows. So you combine all this. This is the reverse of the ultimate Muathe breakout. It's a method I call the ultimate Muathe sell signal, which in essence is pretty much the reverse of the ultimate Muathe breakout. So we've been seeing some of the prior leaders from 2020 and even early 2021 looking like they are breaking down significantly. Let me give you an example of one that's doing that. NKLA was a great moving instrument. It did great for those who are playing this in 2020. But now take a look at this monthly chart. We can see that it is breaking recent monthly lows. The RSI is breaking to essentially 3-year lows, in this case all-time lows, and the MACDs are pushing to fresh lows. So the momentum is definitely to the downside unless it can recapture the break zones on the price and RSI. Let's take a look at another leader. This instrument did great for us and for the market in general. One of the leaders in 2020. Now, take a look at this, and I talked about this a couple of weeks ago, about this potential for a break based on the ultimate Muathe sell signal. A break there in price below December's monthly closing low. Take a look at your RSI pushing to all-time lows on the monthly, and the MACDs breaking down. We can see that the main MACD is just sprinting now, and it is sprinting essentially moving to all-time lows. So this meets the minimum requirements for the ultimate Muathe sell signal. And it also asks a question about the general market. If market leaders are now cracking and breaking and showing major sell signals, what does it mean for the general market? This is Eric Muathe with Muathe.com. Love light, light love. Namaste.